How we doing? Hey, OffKai.
Hello, OffKai Expo!
Welcome to Talking Music with
StarlightDaryl
and WUNDER RiKU. Who was at the concert just? How was it?
Sick.
Yeah?
Great.
Favorite moments? Katie?
That was sick.
Yeah? Yeah, I'm very jealous. We had to be here to like set up for this stupid panel, so we missed the concert.
Yeah, I was stuck with Wonder RiKU. Imagine that.
The worst timeline possible. So thank you for coming. We're going to talk a little bit today about the music that we've made, the stories behind it, the reasons why we do the things that we do. And yeah, I think just in case any of you, some of you I assume are probably familiar with who we are, that's probably why you're here. But just in case you're not, hi. But just in case you're not, let's do some introductions. So over to you, Daryl.
Hello, everybody. My name is StarlightDaryl, and I'm a composer. You may have heard my music on Ironmouse's streams, Zentrea's streams, a bunch of indie VTuber streams, and I love all sorts of music.
And I am Wunderr RiKU. I'm a songwriter, producer. You might know me from some of my work with Hololive English, Chikutaku, Amelia Watson, some Gargara songs, Nina Mai Inanis with Mechanopsis as well, and Sukumasana. I've done some work with Hoyoverse as well over the last year. With the Multiverse Vistas competition, which I won with Rita Kamishiro last year, and a couple of other songs. And some more mainstream J-pop stuff as well, King and Prince, Kid Phenomenon. So yeah, and I also like music. Crazy, right? Wild.
Wow, you like music? We should like do a music panel together or something.
No way! Nah, that's kind of dumb.
What a concept,
Who would come to
right?
that? I wouldn't. So, because this is at like 11 p.m, and I'm not gonna lie, a fair few people have come up to me thinking that we're doing like a hentai panel or something because of the time that it's at.
I have a say-so image to uphold, okay?
Well, we're about to ruin that because this is like after dark.
Oh gosh.
We wanted to do a fun way of like talking about some of the songs that we worked with, and we were like inspired by the Asteroid panel that we went to, which was so great.
Did anyone go to the Asteroid panel?
Yeah, it was so great. So we were inspired by their like One Lives, One Dies thing, and we thought, what's the like 11 p.m. version of that? And the answer is that it's Fuck, Marry, Kill. So we are going to Fuck, Marry, Kill our own music, except...
But there's a twist.
Go ahead.
We've chosen the songs for each other to fuck, marry, and kill. So out of our respective discographies, we've gone through each other's work, which obviously we're familiar with each other's work.
There's a really good chance that we might not be friends anymore after this.
This is like the Mario Kart of like VTuber music. So.
And then like the rest of the panel's gonna be like super awkward. So, without further ado, I can't remember which one of us is first. So...
I want to say it's you first.
Is it? Okay.
It might be.
Let's find out.
So this next section got pretty spicy, so I've had to cut it for YouTube, but if you would like to watch the full F, Marry, Kill of mine and Daryl's songs, then you can head over to my Patreon. The link is in the description below. You can see that as well as the Q&A section at the end, which I also had to cut for the YouTube video, but that is also on Patreon too. If you subscribe to there, every little penny that you donate goes to help me make more content and to also keep doing what I do for a living. So it's much appreciated and I really appreciate everyone's support. Thank you so much.
I told you I'd get you back! If anybody took any photos of the last two slides, delete them now. So, To kick things off and just talk a little bit about our journeys, me and Daryl have become such good friends over the years, and a big part of that, I think, is because we've had a very parallel journey to where we are right now. We're both old as shit, and have been doing this music thing for a long time, trying to break into the industry, and the VTuber industry was really where we found the home we were always longing for. And obviously that origin story, for so many people, starts in 2020. So our first little thing to start it off is, where were you in 2020? So yeah, where were you, Daryl?
Gosh, well, I was in a one-bedroom apartment that I was paying way too much rent for, and I was studying web development because I had given up on music. I've been trying for so long to do the whole, be a rock star, go on the road, tour the world kind of thing, and that didn't work out. So I tried to be a game composer, and that kind of worked out for a couple of years, but then it didn't really. And especially in 2020, when that big the COVID hit, right? All of my clients magically disappeared, and that sucked really bad. So I started learning web development, and I was like, yeah, it's fine. This music thing is going to work out for me, so it's over, And then a couple of my friends became VTubers, and I didn't really know what that was, but they were very patient and very patient and gracious to me to kind of be like, hey, I know this isn't really in your tool house, but I stream on Twitch, and I would like some background music, and you're the only composer I know. So, I ended up working with Komaria, Mint Phantom, Chika Yamane, and then that was the start of Uta Live, which was my company at the time, making VTuber music, and somehow that led to wherever the hell we are now.
Wow.
Where were you in 2020, Riku?
So, in 2020, I was still working pretty much full-time as a high school music teacher. Yeah, so I was teaching high school kids through the pandemic, which was traumatic, to say the least. Doing all those months of online Zoom classes and all that kind of stuff. What the pandemic sort of gave me, because I'd gone to music school and graduated, and then had absolutely no idea what to do, no connections in the industry. Worked at times I was working about 7 or 8 jobs at once, just to earn enough money to live. Most of it just gig economy music stuff, sound engineering here, gigging here, teaching here, music therapy workshop here, just whatever I could find and get. The songwriting had taken a massive backseat in my life. What COVID gave me, and a lot of people, was time to think, which for a while was terrifying. But then the thinking turned into well, what do I actually want to be doing with my life? What is the thing that I'm most passionate about and have always wanted to do? And I was like, you want to be a songwriter, why aren't you writing songs? And at a point I made that decision, I was like, okay, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna do everything I can to become a songwriter. And that coincided with a little thing called Whole Live English debuting. And it came at the perfect time where we had nothing else to do. And it just so happened that 2 little gremlins debuted around that time, Amelia Watson and Gogura. I was hooked from the debut stream. And it wasn't long after that on Twitter, Whole Life put out this post where they were we're looking for music creators to make music for our talents. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna shoot my shot. I have nothing in my catalog. I have never done any music like this that shows I could do it. So I'm in part of my application, I'm gonna write 2 songs, 1 minute 30 songs that just show what I would do if I was gonna write an Amelia Watson song and what I would do if I was gonna write a Gogura song. And I posted those online. Is there anybody here who remembers Mystery of Love and Reflection? Yeah! Yo! What? No way! No shot. Wow, okay. So yeah, that kind of, obviously I put that application in, but more importantly, I posted them online, and it gained some traction in the community, and it was about, not long after that, Ame did a stream where she said, Guru just shared these like fan songs with me that someone did, and I don't know, maybe I could sing one of them or do a song sometime. And I was like, yes, please. And it took a while. It was like a year after that, I got a DM from Ame who was like, can we work on the cover and then maybe an original song afterwards? And that was literally the start. My first client was Amelia Watson. So, and basically my entire career started because of her and because of Guru finding the songs and sharing them. So, yeah. So yeah, that's where I was in 2020. So for the next section that we're going to do, and maybe we speed through it. We were going to do some Q&A questions at the end. Just a show of hands. Like, is anybody got interested in like asking a question? Like at the end of the panel, we got a few people. Okay, a couple of people. That's all right then. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a bit of time to talk about maybe two of the most pivotal kind of pieces in our careers, and how our careers again sort of like mirrored each other around this time. We were both in 2020 these struggling musicians, trying for so many years, didn't really know direction, and then all of a sudden VTubers appeared into our lives, and our first clients were like some of the biggest like names in the industry and really propelled us into it. So who are we starting with? Is it?
We're starting with you.
Chikitaku, Amelia Watson. Let's play it.
Oh, what?
Whoa. Hey. Okay. So, again, what we've done is that we've sort of like prepared questions for each other on these songs. So, how's the volume? Is the BGM a little bit loud? Good. Tiny bit loud? I just turn it down a little bit. Yeah, there you go. How's that? Is that good? Yeah. Cool, perfect. So yeah, this is Amelia Watson's debut original song. Well, her first original song, her only original song. That I had the pleasure of producing, writing the lyrics for, top lining, and also being part of the video game that launched with it as part of the like whole thing that she did for her birthday, which was fun. So yeah, what are your questions, Daryl? What you got for me?
Well, as a teammate through and through, I'm curious on like what was kind of like the story of how the song came to be.
Okay. So it ties into the DM that I got from Ame.
Like the cover about doing a cover and maybe an original.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when we were having those conversations, the first thing that I did was the cover of Okami Blues that I produced for Ame, and then she was like, "I want to do an original song afterwards, but I have absolutely like no idea, kind of like what to do. But because you did that fan song, I feel like you might have some ideas." And I was like, okay, I'm gonna pitch this to you. What if we did like a ska idol song? And that was sort of my idea. Like obviously like ska was a big part of like Ame's karaoke streams, and like the ska punk kind of era, 2000s stuff that she was into. And also like she would do like a few 2000s era throwback like karaoke songs as well. So I felt like I wanted to do something that felt very throwback 2000s-y, like a kind of like anime opening song from that time that has these kind of like horn lines and the offbeat guitar stuff. So that was kind of my pitch, and she was super on board. And then also she said that she would really like to be involved in the lyric writing process too. Oh. So I basically, the first draft of the lyrics were like super generic and really rough, just sort of like words that fit the melody a little bit. And then we sort of had a bit of back and forth on the kind of things that Ame wanted to say and how she wanted to phrase them. So it was really nice. It was a really like collaborative song, and I felt like super privileged to do it. And Ame is like such a hard worker, and also so easy to work with too. So it was, yeah, it was a really beautiful project.
Oh, well, I guess you kind of like touched on my next two questions.
Right.
Yeah, which was so like I was kind of curious to hear more about like how the song was kind of conceptualized, what that process was like,
right?
And also like more background on the lyrics. You know, like obviously
cool.
they're I feel like, you know, as a teammate, those are very iconic lyrics, and like, you know, like. I see the words on like, you know, like on like a notepad or something, and immediately the song like, how should I know, right? So, yeah, well, if you could, I guess like.
So I guess with like the sound of the song, aside from like the 2000s animiness and the scariness, I also wanted to make something that kind of felt like time traveler music in a way. Like I wanted to make it sound like you were going on this journey through time, and something that I kind of did for that, like obviously like there's the use of like sound design in it, so you've got like the ticking clock that's in the background of the verse, you've got that that's going through, you've got like, there's actually an alarm clock sample that goes off at different times, you get this brr, 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 brr. So I was like putting all these different like sound design choices in to kind of do that, and these kind of like kind of rises that make it feel like you're going through like a portal in time or something. But also in terms of like the chord progression, at the beginning, there's like this rising chord progression that like is constantly modulating, which means it's like going through like multiple keys. And this is actually like a direct quote from, this bit. It's like rising, changes key, changes key again, like that. And then you finally end up in the key that you're going to be in. Whoops. Spoilers again. And that is actually like a direct quote from Rainbow Road from Mario Kart.
That's where I heard it. Yeah.
It's the chord progression that starts like almost every single Rainbow Road. And when I was trying to think of like, what does Ame's music sound like? What does the beginning of it sound like? What does like a time traveler?
It sounds like Rainbow Road.
Right, because she's also got like the sunfish spaceship that like goes through space and stuff as well. So I was like, it just like, okay, it just makes me think of Rainbow Road.
I see the vision.
Like,
I see the vision.
So yeah, and it ended up just like working perfectly, like super well, and it created that sound that makes you feel like you're time traveling to me. So yeah, that was another part of it. And then lyrically, I always like trying to work in character lore as much as I can into lyrics, but also like tie in the emotional journey of the person and the real person like behind the VTuber. And for Ame's lore, she's like this immortal detective who is like has been tasked to investigate these like immortal beings who. Like in my lore, she's like she was like hired by justice. That's my like retroactive lore, my headcanon. But along the way, she ends up like befriending these immortal beings, and instead of investigating them, they become like the closest of friends and find that like found family together. And so that's basically what I wanted to get across, right? It's the whole like when we first met, I wondered what you'd think of me, like all that kind of stuff. As time went by, forgot to hide the laugh that came so naturally. So it's about sort of like letting that mask slip and just like slowly falling in line and in a group with these people. And the thing is that we watched that happen in real time, because like these girls didn't really know each other when they debuted, and we watched like how over time they grew into like the closest of friends, and I wanted Chikutaku to really like match that journey in the storytelling.
Aww.
So, yeah.
That's so beautiful.
And the wonderful thing was that also like Ame made it feel even more personal. Like she injected her own thoughts and feelings into that too, and it worded certain bits in ways that I never could have, because it came from her experience, which made it even better. So yeah. So yeah, Chikutaku. Where'd the time go? Speaking of where the time go, we need to move on.
Where did the time go?
So, this was my pick for you, Gremlin Fantasy.
Good pick.
It's so iconic. Again, it came very early in your career. So I really wanted to know, again, like a similar question, like how did this happen? Like how did this collaboration with Mousy happen?
Well, one day I got a DM from some girl named Ironmouse, and I don't know if you guys saw that Twitter post I made, but she literally was like, "Hi, I'm a VTuber and I'd like a BGM made. Can you help me?" And I said yes, and she was on a really tight deadline because it was pretty last minute that she wanted a BGM made, and she didn't even realize that was an option until pretty late into the game. And so I had about 3 or 4 days to make it. And I walked her through the usual what kind of vibes are you looking for? Is there any music that you like that you would like me to draw inspiration from? And I found out very early on that we're both big Kajiura stans. So she referenced a lot of Madoka, and she showed me a little bit of her model and stuff, and then we just kind of went from there. And to be honest, I took a lot of wild guesses. There's kind of a section, actually you guys just heard it, where there was wub wub bass, and that kind of breaks up the orchestral, kind of violin-led nature of the song. And I had no idea if she was gonna like it, but I lucked out and she did. So that ended up becoming Gremlin Fantasy.
So cool. For me, because you work more in the BGM world and the instrumental world than I do more in the songwriting world, it's something that you get to do a lot more often, which is when you're doing multiple BGMs for a talent, for an artist, you get to work with their melodies and rework their themes in different styles, genres, and all this kind of stuff. So I picked a few different examples here of ways that you've interpreted this melody.
Okay.
The B section melody.
This section.
Yeah. Of
okay.
Gremlin Fantasy.
Is it these 3 ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I want to know is how do you create the sound world for Mousy in all of these? How do these represent Mousy? And then also how do you write a melody that's so adaptable that you can rework it in all these different ways?
Amazing question. Okay, so I mean, when you're working with a VTuber and you're trying to develop that sound, that sonic brand for them, one thing I do is I watch a ton of their streams if they've already started streaming, and just to get to know them, get to know their audience, get to know what kind of chat they have, and then what kind of music they like, and just really get to know their personality. And for some reason this whole it just came really naturally from watching a lot of Mousy streams. And I think that when I wrote Gremlin Fantasy, I wasn't necessarily thinking about okay, I gotta make a motif that will I can reharmonize over and over and over and over again, because I wasn't thinking that far ahead, to be honest. I didn't think Mousy was going to commission me for a gajillion more songs after this, but thank goodness she did, because holy crap, that's been such a huge part of my life. But that melody, I think a lot of it comes from it being really simple, if you listen to it, it's just and there's just so many ways you can reinterpret that. You can throw it over like a major chord progression. I've thrown it over some weird spicy jazz chords for her talk show intro. I've thrown it over something pretty interesting recently that you will probably get to hear soon. I think keep it simple, keep it singable, hummable, and you will probably not run into many difficulties reharmonizing that.
Let's have a proper listen to these different examples, right?
Sure, yeah.
See if you can hear that. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
I can't sing. My voice is so tired. I've spoken so much today.
Yeah, so the interesting thing about that one is that like the original song is in like this kind of like 6/8 time signature, you know, like the waltzy feel, but this song is in a 4/4 time signature. But like because the intervals are so kind of like iconic to that vibe, right? Like even if it is in a different rhythm, you still get the same feeling from it. You know, you still recognize it, and it kind of like, you know, broke rose your cocoa a little bit.
Yeah, I love how like in that one you just take the beginning motif of that and then you like pass it between all these different instruments.
Yeah.
All these different textures and ranges.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
What about the second one here?
Second one, it's like a more bombastic one.
Yeah, I think this one's played a little bit more straight. It's a little bit more like accurate to the original like version of Gremlin Fantasy. It's, you know, it's got that waltzy feel, but yeah, just more bombastic. Yeah, and actually this whole part of the dun 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 was also kind of a reference to like the dun 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 dun, like the first half of Gremlin Fantasy, right?
You just take that little bit of melody and then
make something completely different. Yeah.
It's a great way of just like creating a like coherent sound for that. And then lastly,
that one was a little bit more subtle. Did you guys catch it? Yeah? Okay. So any booby enjoyers in chat? Yeah. Tell them to stream more. I'm kind of pissed. No, I'll tell C-Dog to tell them to stream more. Yeah, so that's from Booby's character theme, and because it is Booby's theme and not Ironmouse's theme per se, I didn't really want to go too hard on that Gremlin Fantasy motif, because it ultimately is a Booby track, but because Booby is so like intertwined in Mousie's lore, I did want to still have like a little bit of a reference to it. So, you know, we got a little bit of that glockenspiel.
Yeah. It's subtle, but it also like it's important because their lore intertwines.
Exactly.
So you want to make sure that the music is also communicating that, a part of that too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just love all those different variations of that melody and how you continue to like rework it, and we get to hear it so many different ways.
Oh, thanks, Riku.
So, as part of our kind of like shared journey as well, the funny thing is that I'm a huge Ironmouse fan, and I have been for so many years, and I've loved her so much. It's been like a dream of mine to one day be able to work with her. And funnily enough, we started talking because after Chikutaku released, like Daryl got in touch with me because you were like, oh my god, I love Chikutaku so much. I'm such an Amelia Watson fan, and so we were basically like writing the music for like each other's Oshi.
Yeah. Look, I haven't told anyone this, but I was a little jealous when I found out that like my Kami Oshi got an original song, and I was like, oh, who's this Wonder Riku guy? Like,
Yeah, I mean, like, I definitely felt that about you doing the Ironmouse BGM as well. Like, there's always like that little sense of like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
And then like, you know, like an hour later, you know, I was like doing this shit like, wait, what am I doing?
So like we kind of started like speaking through this, and then over the years, through kind of like seeing each other's work and wanting to do this, and also like just being really open with each other and sharing each other's dreams with each other. I think we'd always wanted opportunities to work together and figure out some ways to do that, and like stars are never aligned. We're super busy, but then something happened and it kind of changed everything for us. When Amelia Watson announced that she was graduating, kind of shook us both to our core, and I decided that I wanted to do something really special for Ame's graduation. I put out a message on Twitter saying that I'd written a song. This is actually a song that I'd written a couple of years before as a Ame Gura song that I had maybe hoped that maybe one day could be an official song or something. The opportunity never come up. So
Yuri pilled.
I'm so Yuri. I'm so Ame Sammy pilled, it's unreal. When she announced that graduation, I was like, okay, I feel like the song was always made for this. So yeah, I put out the message on Twitter for any like artists, animators who wanted to help do an MV. We had like a week basically before her graduation stream, and I wanted it for that. And Daryl basically like got in touch. Oh yeah, let's put it on in the background. Yeah. Why not? I'll put it down low, so I'll keep talking over it. I'll talk in this voice, so you won't cry over it, and also I won't. You reached out to me, didn't you? Actually,
I did.
When that message went out.
And it's funny because I saw your tweet and I was like, oh, I'll shoot my shot, you know, right? And you weren't necessarily looking for music people, but I reached out anyway.
Yeah, you were like, can I do like
something, anything?
Yeah. So I basically was like, yeah, absolutely, because I know how much you wanted to do something for Ame, and I felt like, well, this could potentially be the last opportunity, right? So yeah, that was our first collab. That was our first collaboration. You did all the string arrangements for Under the Stars.
Yeah.
But also you wanted to do your own project, right? For that. To say goodbye, which was Papaya Fantasia.
God, this takes me back, and it was only like a year ago. Yeah, you know, like I'd always been like obviously a big Ame fan, and I mean, what can I really say about this piece? You know, like it was my last chance to like send off my Oshi. And I feel like I learned a lot from this project, just because like I had to do it in such a short amount of time, and I sent it off to Riku without really any expectation, just because I was like, hey, I know you're like a big Ame like enjoyer, and you work with her, and
you
like,
could say that, yeah.
I want you to, and I want you to hear like this thing I made, and then. He didn't tell me he was going to send it off to freaking her manager, and then next thing I knew, it was on her stream, on her graduation stream, and that was just such like a important like a moment like in my, you know, for me.
I was so happy to be able to do that. I just want to shout out Henma, because Henma is the absolute goat. I mean, we all know how much he's done for Hollow, how much he did for Anime, but like Henma really was the person behind the scenes who helped us get both Under the Stars and Papaya Fantasia on Ame's graduation stream, so she could react to them live. He's trusted us so much and believed in us.
I got LinkedIn messages about it. That's how far it went out of like our immediate circle. Like I was like, people I'd not heard it from in like a decade. And, it's like, oh.
And I think like, it was special. What's special is that, I don't know, sometimes in this industry we can be quite closed off and insular as composers, as musicians, to be like, my opportunities are my opportunities, everybody else's competition, all this kind of thing. And I think it's really important that you make friends in this industry and you help each other, right? Like, if you have the privilege to be a gatekeeper, open that gate for people who want to be able to come in, right? Yeah. And in that instance, I was so happy that I was able to like get you involved in that. And to parallel that,
we have something very, very...
Oh, the screen's off? You can see a castle. That's a nice castle. So, before he comes on, just because we don't have too much time, I know some people want to ask questions, but basically, Daryl has a big project coming up, right?
I do, yes. So it's been a lifelong dream of mine to work with a live orchestra, and I threw down the money for it. And what better VTuber to collaborate with on such a big monumental project than Miss Ironmouse herself. So we are working on a song, or rather it's basically done. But Riku and I have worked on a song with a live orchestra called Music Box of Fate featuring Ironmouse. I've composed it, and Riku wrote the lyrics and also contributed a little bit of composition as well. And for the first time ever, we are going to tease a little bit for you guys.
So do we have audio and visual, or do we still have a castle? Well, I guess, do we still have audio? Okay.
Yeah,
well, we can play the audio. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's just see. And that's what you're getting. Heck yeah! I'm so excited for that. And again, this is like that full circle moment where Daryl did not have to let me in on this project. Like, but I'm so grateful that a couple of years ago, I shared that one of my dreams, I shared this with you, one of my dreams was to write an operatic song for Ironmouse, because I love her opera voice so much and she doesn't have an original song, and I shared that with you. And when you said you were doing one and you wanted me to write the lyrics, I just exploded inside. I'm so grateful, I'm so thankful, and I'm so excited. You guys, if you're going to, is anyone going to Fantastic
Expo?
Reality? Yeah, well, you're going to hear it for the first time there.
Yeah, the song will be officially premiering live on July 3rd at Fantastic Reality. So it's Fantastic Reality.live. We still have plenty of tickets, but they are selling out pretty quickly, especially after today. So we'd love to see you there, and join us for this special moment to have Mousie's first operatic original song premiered.
Thank you, great. We've come to the end of our panel.
All right, thank you everybody for coming out.
Yeah, thank you
really
so
lovely.
much. We did not expect this kind of turnout at 11 p.m. Thank you for turning up to our hentai panel.
So just like the F, Marry, Kill section, the Q&A section also had to be cut for YouTube. But if you're interested, you can head over to my Patreon where the full version of this panel is there. No matter what tier you decide to subscribe to, any penny that you give helps me to continue what I'm doing for a living and also to make more content, which I really want to do more of, but it's very hard to take time out from making songs to make content. But this really helps. Patreon really helps. So it's really appreciated. Thank you for watching to the end of the video. Consider subscribing as well. And, carry on the conversation in the comments below. If there's any questions that you have based on this panel, let me know. Thank you for watching and see you again soon.